We've been told they were just stories, fairy tales meant to keep children away from the mountains. But from the Greek gigantes to the biblical Nephilim, every single culture on Earth has a memory of a time when titans walked the land. Today, we're categorizing every species of giant to ever exist, starting with the monsters that science proves real, and moving into the forbidden history of the human giants that archaeology is still trying to explain. We've been told they were just stories, fairy tales meant to keep children away from the mountains. But from the Greek gigantes to the biblical Nephilim, every single culture on Earth has a memory of a time when titans walked the land. First, let's look at the giants we know existed. Gigantopithecus blacki. Standing nearly 10 feet tall and weighing over 200 pounds, this was the real-life King Kong. They lived in Southeast Asia until about 300,000 years ago. Their teeth alone are twice the size of a modern gorilla's. The Megafauna. We also had birds like the elephant bird of Madagascar, standing 10 feet tall, and the Megatherium, a ground sloth the size of an elephant. The takeaway: nature has already proven that giantism is a recurring theme in evolution. So why is it so hard to believe it happened to us? First, let's look at the giants we know existed. Gigantopithecus blacki, the real-life King Kong. Our story of giants isn't confined to the distant past of Megafauna. It's written directly into our own human story, in the DNA of our ancestors. In 2010, science unveiled a mysterious new branch of the human family tree, the Denisovans. Discovered from just a single finger bone fragment and a few teeth found in a Siberian cave, our picture of them is still incomplete. We don't have a full skeleton, which forces scientists to piece together their appearance from these tantalizingly scarce remains. But what we have found is astounding. The jawbones are incredibly robust, and their molars are significantly larger than any modern humans, suggesting a powerful build and a diet that required immense chewing force. These weren't just slightly different humans. They were physically formidable. Genetic mapping reveals their legacy extends far beyond that Siberian cave. They were true survivors, adapting to some of Earth's most extreme environments. As this map shows, they journeyed to the high-altitude Tibetan plateau. Here, they interbred with the ancestors of modern Tibetans, passing on a crucial genetic gift, the EPAS1 gene variant. This super athlete gene allows for incredible efficiency in low-oxygen environments, a clear example of a giant's trait living on in us. But the Denisovans aren't the only enigma. In the DNA of modern West Africans, geneticists have uncovered a ghost lineage, traces of an archaic hominid completely unknown to the fossil record. This ancestor separated from our line even before the Neanderthals. While purely speculative, the genetic data hints that this ghost population may have also been larger and stronger than contemporary Homo sapiens. It forces us to reconsider our origins. We aren't a single pure species, but a complex hybrid, a mosaic of smaller and potentially much larger ancestors. Now we enter our most controversial category, a story that blurs the line between historical accounts and modern myth. This is the mystery of the American mound builders. Throughout the 1800s, as settlers expanded across the American Midwest, they encountered thousands of enormous earthen mounds. These weren't natural hills, they were ancient man-made structures. When local antiquarians and farmers began excavating them, they started finding skeletons. Hundreds of newspaper reports from Ohio, West Virginia, and Illinois describe these remains as astonishingly large, with many measuring between 7 and 9 feet tall. These accounts weren't isolated. They were widespread, creating a narrative of a lost race of giants who predated the Native American tribes. The reported features were just as strange as the height. Many accounts consistently mentioned unusual traits, such as double rows of teeth, exceptionally thick bones, and distinctly elongated skulls, different from those of the known local populations. This brings us to the heart of the controversy. Many of these fascinating and potentially groundbreaking remains were reportedly sent to esteemed institutions for study, most notably the Smithsonian. However, according to researchers who have tried to track them down, these specific skeletons seem to have vanished. They are not in the public record, not on display, and official inquiries have yielded no verifiable specimens matching the sensational newspaper descriptions. This disappearance has fueled a century-long conspiracy theory that there was a systematic effort to suppress evidence of a non-native giant race in North America to protect established historical narratives. Mainstream archaeology, however, offers a different perspective. They attribute the mounds to sophisticated indigenous cultures like the Adena and Hopewell people. They suggest the giant reports were likely exaggerations, misinterpretations of disarticulated skeletons, or simply isolated cases of genetic gigantism within the normal human population. The double teeth could have been a misunderstanding of adult teeth growing in behind baby teeth, or post-mortem tooth displacement. So, what is the truth? Was this a genuine race of North American giants, systematically erased from history? Or were these simply exaggerated tales from a bygone era, the result of untrained individuals unearthing the ancestors of Native Americans? Without the bones, we are left with only the stories. Finally, we arrive at our most famous and enigmatic category, the mythology of giants. These aren't just oversized humans, but divine or semi-divine beings, and their most well-known representatives are the Nephilim. The biblical record, specifically Genesis 6:4, states there were giants in the earth in those days. Apocryphal texts like the Book of Enoch expand on this, describing a group of fallen angels called the Watchers who descended to earth. These beings were said to have taken human wives, and their offspring were the Nephilim, a powerful hybrid race whose existence corrupted the world. This narrative isn't unique. In ancient Sumeria, they spoke of the Anunnaki, divine beings who descended from the heavens and were considered the architects of civilization. In Greek mythology, we find the Titans, a primordial race of powerful deities who were overthrown by the Olympians. And Norse sagas tell of the Jotun, or frost giants, ancient and formidable rivals to the gods of Asgard. In nearly every one of these mythologies, the story ends the same way, with a great cataclysm, a war, a cosmic event, or a world-altering flood. This raises a fascinating question about our collective storytelling. Is it possible that the Great Flood, a story recorded in countless cultures, is a mythological echo of a reset button? A narrative device to explain the end of an ancient epoch and the wiping out of a powerful predecessor race, clearing the stage for the age of humanity? The theme is too persistent to ignore. Whether it's the 10-foot Gigantopithecus or the 30-foot Titans of Greek myth, the giant is a part of our shared human memory. Maybe they didn't all die out. Maybe they just shrunk, their DNA still hiding inside us, occasionally popping up in people who stand 7 or 8 feet tall today. The question, if you found a 12-foot skeleton in your backyard, would you call the museum or would you hide it? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe as we continue to hunt for the truth. I'll see you in the next one. Whether it's the 10-foot Gigantopithecus or the 30-foot Titans of Greek myth, the giant is part of us.